How's it going, guys? So what I wanted to do, since this is the time of year that everybody wants to use these lures, I want to show you one of my favorite kind of lures. And what do you think? It's the Corky. Okay. So something, little history about these Corkies is this is made by Paul Brown. The original creator is Paul Brown out of Houston. Okay. Now he since sold the company, Paul Brown, the Paul Brown name, and a few designs of the Corky to MirrOlure. So MirrOlure is the owner of them now. Now, one of the reasons why they call them Corkies is there's actually a little piece of cork in there, and that's what's able to keep them afloat. His original design is to have the soft plastic around it, so the fish will hold on to it longer if they hit it or come back to it. There's different variations and iterations of these lures. Many different companies have customized them and produced their own colors. This particular one here is the Professional, the Pro Edition of the Fat Boy. Now let me give you a little bit more. Now one of the things is that these lures are they can be fished so many different ways. From one of the main ways is to bend the tail down. I'm sure you've seen that more than once in a few different places, and I've actually seen. See if you can see that better. I've actually seen where people ask, why do they bend the nose and the tail down? The reason being is when you do that twitch, instead of them coming up to the water column, they stay closer. Because of where everything is, the aerodynamics of it or hydrodynamics of it will keep it down in the column where you want it to be. Okay. They all have a it's very little, but it's a small rattle in them. Not every single variation has these rattles in them. Before I get to showing you all the different iterations of them, one of the ways to and you've seen it in a couple of my videos. One of the ways is when you throw it. They're not necessarily, they're meant to use it for different ways. You can actually throw it and they sink. I've been told originally that they sink about 1 foot a second. It's closer to 2 feet a second, honestly. Different variations of the lure sink slightly different, but for the most part it's about 2 seconds really. So the idea is you count, okay, let's say I'm working in 3 feet of water. So you're going to count 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000 to keep that lure lower in the water column, to get them, especially when it's cold. That's kind of the thing, is typically these fish are going to hang down lower in the water to stay closer to where the water temperature is more constant. Okay, so, and then the mud and maybe shell or something is warmer down there too. So when you when you twitch this bait, you reel, even if you reel straight, it will swim underwater. Okay, and when you jerk it, it'll kind of spaz out. Okay. The idea is you twitch it and then let it fall. Twitch it, let it fall. Okay. Twitch it and let it fall. You just count to where you want it to be. Twitch it, let it fall. Okay, it'll jump, and then, like I was saying, is give it some line on your pause. Okay, when you do your jerk and you pause, I suggest giving it some line. Give it your pull. So this way, when it jerks, it falls back. Fall, I actually give it line so that it goes back. Okay, little reel. There it is. Oh, it came off, dude. That was a good one. I didn't get a good strike. I came back for it. Oh, is he still on? Yes. Came back for it. That's a big thing right there, okay? Trust me, try it out. It works a lot. Another thing is, if you're working in a shallower area, you can choose to keep the nose bent straight to keep it more level, more higher up in the water column, okay? So when it won't go down and hit the grass or anything like that. Now, okay, one very, very important thing, okay, when you're working a Corky, if you've never worked a Corky before, or you've never tried one, this is something that's very, very important. Okay, the back of the lure, make sure when you look this perpendicular line on their back, make sure that it is straight. Okay, if it has a bend in it, if it has some sort of a wiggle to it, this thing's gonna helicopter. It's not gonna swim right. It just it's gonna get tangled. It's just gonna be, it's not gonna be good. Okay, make sure that the back is straight. So every time you come in, at least look at it. Get an idea that you know that this thing is straight. Okay, whatever kind of Corky you get or use or gets hit, or especially after you know it got a hit, check it. Any little iteration of not being straight, it's gonna cause a problem with your Corky. Okay. Now, another way that you can work these lures is, once you get to the level in the water column that you want to be, you know, you've already kind of counted in your head, you know, how many feet or how many seconds it is to the point. You can do a walk the dog motion underwater. Okay, you can twitch. You can do twitch, pause. You can add a third twitch in there. You can work it fast. You can work it slow. In the winter time, typically you're gonna kind of work it slow. Okay, if you're not getting any hits, you're not getting any strikes, change it up. Throw an extra twitch in it. Give it a little bit more, more of a pause, a longer pause. Give it, switch it up. Go pause, do a walk the dog in between. But try to stick with one. Okay, twitch, pause, and then let's slow it down. Very slow. I'm talking about just very slow. Twitch. Okay, get that. Think of your inside your head that, okay, here's the fish swimming and it's dying and it's kind of spazzing out as it dies. Okay, and then you give it some line, it's dropping because it's dying. You visualize, and it's a visualization. Okay, but trust me, once I started doing that, honestly, man, that was it. That was the key that I found for myself. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these other lures. All right, guys, so many different variations of the Corky. One of the first ones that I want to show you is one you've seen me use all the time, and one of the reasons these Corkies are so good is they're actually bigger baits. Now, this one in particular, these two here, the broken back Corkies, this is actually Steve's lures. Steve's lures is Steve Brown, which is Paul Brown's son that created these. He's still working. He's got some amazing designs that he makes, all different flavors and beautiful ones. Another one that he creates, or there's two more actually. Let's see, this one here, this is a bug eye from Steve's Lures called the Big Bug Eye. And what this does, and you've seen some of my videos hopefully, and this is actually subsurface under the water, and you work this just under the top of the water. I'm talking about inches under the top of water. You can jerk it, and it spazzes out. Very good lure. Another one of Steve's lures that he makes is called a peanut. That's this one here. It is a smaller in comparison. It doesn't have the broken back. It's the size of a big pecan. Okay, and he typically will put a tail on it like this, and it's very good. I've caught quite a few reds on this. Now, other variations. Again, I showed you the professional one. Okay, it's actually a slightly thinner. It has the flash inside of it, and it tends to I like it better because of the flash, and for me it swims a little better. Okay, it may not necessarily be the case. Everybody may not think so. This is a Fat Boy, professional Fat Boy. Now the other one is the regular Fat Boy. Okay, it's not as fancy in the inside. It actually has a different sound. This has like I think it has two bearings in it, and seems like it has it's a little bit different sound, but the design is slightly different. It has more of a belly to it. Okay, but it swims good. You can bend it. One of the things is there's a wire inside here, okay, that runs all up inside, and it'll allow you to adjust it and bend it, bend the nose, bend the tail. Now the original Paul Brown is these here. Smaller bait, has a torpedo design, and same thing, you can bend the tail. This will give it more of a sharper where it drops. Okay, now if you look at this one, this is an original Paul Brown, but if you see the smiley face on the side there, that means it will sink. It's more of a it's a floater. Okay, any mirror lure that you see that has this little smiley face on it will float. It tends to stay closer to the top. Okay, whatever it may be. So it will still drop, but it probably has a little more cork in it, in order for it to sink slower. Okay, so remember, when you buy them, you're looking for your favorite color, and that again, what color is the best color? Okay, the kind of rule of thumb is the darker or the murky water, the darker the lure. Okay, I suggest whatever color is your favorite color is your confidence color. Pick your confidence color. Okay, you will work that bait better because you're more confident in that color. Everybody, some people like the purple, some people like these blow pop kind of colors. Color doesn't matter until it does. Okay, I read that in I don't even remember what book I read it in, but color doesn't matter until it does. Use your confidence color until it just doesn't work. Then change up the colors, and then go from there. Okay, now this is a topwater Corky. It is it's like a spook, actually. It's a I don't know, pickle design. And it's a topwater. It, just like you would think, does walk the dog off the top, but it has that plasticky outer coating on it. I'm gonna go, before I get to the weird ones here, you have the soft dines. Okay, this is the original soft dine. It's kind of it's about 2 inches long, 2.5 inches long, I guess. And right now, this is something. If you think it's smaller bait that you need, a soft dine might be what you need. If you want a little bit bigger bait, this is the soft dine XL. It's about twice the size, the girth. If you're only going to pick one type of Corky, or you have a choice between what you're going to get and you're unsure how to work it, soft dines are actually very easy to work. Just a slow retrieve will actually allow them to swim, the jerking motion. So try the soft dines if you're really unsure. What I would suggest is a soft dine and a fat boy lure. Okay, now moving on, we have the Paul Brown Devil. So this is a combination of a twitch bait with the tail on it and possibly a peanut. Okay, these are really pretty good. Now, they talk about these being only wintertime lures. They're not. I use them year round. I catch with all these year round, and it's just a variation. This has one hook, so it might actually be something that will work in more of a weedy area at the bottom, so you don't have 2 hooks that you're dealing with. But I would say more so that this is going to be a trout lure, mainly because the redfish hit from the back and the trout hit from the middle. Okay, now then we got some of these crazy ones. This one actually is called the Crazy Croaker. So when you twitch this one, it really freaks out. Okay, I've only used this a couple of times, honestly. This is actually, I believe, a variation of that one. I don't even remember what the name is. I'm not sure. I don't even want to lie to you. I don't even know what it is. But it is a variation of the Corky design. So guys, good luck on getting your first Corky if you haven't already gotten one. If you have any questions, any comments, what's your favorite color? How do you work your Corky? If you haven't tried them, try the Steve's Lures designs. I'm not sponsored by him. I really believe in these lures. I think they're awesome. When you want that bigger bait, these are the ones. The ones that I use the broken back, the Steve's Lures. I use the pro version of the Fat Boys. For most part, those are my go-to lures. Oh, and bug eyes too. I do use the bug eyes. Those are my I tend to go to this. My favorite color, just so you know, if y'all don't already know, is the bone. Anything that's more of a natural, more of a bone white, pearl. I like the bone better than the pearl. It's just my my preference. That doesn't necessarily mean that it does better or not, but that's my 2 cents, guys. Although it was long, so I wouldn't, got a couple dollars in there at least. So tight lines, guys. Subscribe, comment, you know the drill. And let's go fishing, guys. GoPro, stop recording.